You get 70 plus people paying you between $400 to $1,000 per month, and you're going to have a pretty fun business. What's up, you guys? Got another case study from an agency using the power of AI to run ads and to help more cell phone resellers make money. It's a cool niche. I had a really fun time going through it with Chris and learning some things myself about a niche I didn't honestly know anything about. But that's one of the cool things about UpHex is we get to see a lot of different niches and how people are using the power of AI and ads to drive sales in a variety of different businesses. So tune in. By the way, if you're new to the channel and you want to learn more about how to create a online income, about how to run ads without learning really how to run ads, tune into this channel. That's what we do every single week. Get notified, subscribe to the channel, and in the meantime, check out the value that Chris gives and dishes out in this fun case study. Welcome to this case study today. I'm here with my friends Chris and Ray. They've got a really cool niche, and I wanted to reach out. In fact, I saw Chris's post, maybe it's been a while now, right, Chris? About 6 months ago when you posted in the community?
Yeah.
Yeah, he posted something really cool. I'll put that up on the screen. Just broke $1 million in their Stripe account, which is a feat in and of itself, which is awesome. But what I liked about it was it wasn't the standard niche, the standard audience, right? And so you guys got a really niche audience, which we'll talk a little bit about today. I don't want to give away any special sauce. Um, but I liked the niche because what it says to me is, and what I've seen over and over and over again, is you can make a successful business in almost any niche. Doesn't have to be life insurance where people are making a killing or real estate. Like there's a couple of categories that people always gravitate to, but you guys are building an awesome business and you're doing it in a small, a less popular niche, a less well-known niche, I will say, right? And it's something that, by the way, everybody uses, so it should be really popular. So that's the preface. Buckle in. We're gonna have a fun conversation. Maybe Chris, just give us a quick little intro to you guys, to your agency and your agency model, if we could start there.
Yeah, so my name's Chris. I'm the owner of our agency, which is called Phone Pro Automation, and then we have my partner Ray over here.
Yep.
We work with people who buy and resell phones and electronics. So whether it's an actual cell phone shop, people who are in the actual business retail, or people just like Ray and ourselves who don't have a retail location, we're just mobile, and we buy and resell electronics. So we buy them at a certain price, at a low price, and we sell them for higher. And our agency does the same thing. So we teach people, if they're brand new, we teach them how to flip phones and we help them get the marketing set up and get everything flowing for them. We just help with the marketing side to get people more leads on cell phones. So people every day message us looking to sell their devices. They message our clients every day looking to sell their devices. And it's just basically a never-ending cycle because people are always buying phones, they're breaking their phones, they're upgrading. So it's just, unless Apple goes out of business, I don't think we ever have a real problem on our hands.
That's awesome. Is that your guys' background? Before you did your marketing agency, did you
Yeah,
know that space?
yeah, that's what I was doing full time beforehand, and same with Ray. We were just flipping phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 10 years ago, I watched a YouTube channel called Money Man Mike, and I think it was like during the iPhone 4, iPhone 5. So we're dating myself back a little bit, but yeah, I only had about 100, $150 when I first started. I was working for FedEx back in the day, and I was grinding it out, jumping in and out of a truck every day. I'm like, I just can't keep doing this. My knees are killing me, even when I was in my 30s. So, yeah, I found a iPhone 4 for, it's like $50 and I flipped it for like $100 and I just kept building on it. And after that, I'm like, wow, this can actually go somewhere. So even people who are having trouble with their jobs currently or struggling, as long as you have $100, you can start getting into this niche of phone flipping. And the key is to just keep putting your money back into the business, keep stacking and stacking, and before you know it, you could actually just leave your full-time job. It's pretty crazy.
That's really cool. I mean, it's a niche I know zero about. right? So I don't know anything about it. And that's why that was one of the, I mean, obviously you achieving $1 million is really great, really awesome.
Yeah.
So that inspired the confident or the conversation
To,
at the first point. But the fact that you're doing it in that is so cool.
to update that, I think we're at, let me actually look on my Stripe quick. We're just under 1.3 now.
That's great. So you
Yeah.
guys, I mean, and so in terms of your agency right now, you were saying you currently have about 70 customers, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Total right around 60 to 70 in that
Yeah, and
range.
they're paying you guys anywhere from 400 up to 1,000, you were saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
It's mostly
awesome.
organic, mostly organic. So that's what I'm saying. Most of our clients we got are organic. So
And the beauty of that is I set everything all up with just a few clicks. So I get
That's what I'm
access to their,
talking about.
I get access to their ad account. I have probably like 40 or 50 templates that I've put into UpHex. And speaking of up, not to plug you guys, but UpHex has been a huge part of that because I don't have much, I don't really have staff besides a couple VAs, but I'm the one who handles all the
yeah.
marketing, creating the ads, managing the ads, and UpHex has been massive for that.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for
Yeah.
the plug. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
The big thing, and it's kind of interesting. So going back to your guys' experience, when you know a business and a lot of local businesses, this is the entire reason why the UpEx agency model, in my opinion, is the best model.
Yeah.
Every local business has the same conflict where they've got an opportunity like you guys do in the cell phone flipping niche, right?
Yeah.
Now they just need the people to flip the phones to,
Yep.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or the phones to get.
Yeah.
And you know, everybody thinks that marketing and sales they conflate the two. And it's like, dude, with marketing,
Everything.
you can control everything, right?
Mhm.
It is a growth spigot for every business. And that's what a lot of, people today are talking about AI. They're talking about conversational AI. They're talking about voice AI. They're talking about all of these different things. You want to know the one thing that all of those AIs require in order to make any money?
I have to guess it would be marketing.
It would be marketing.
Yeah.
You can't, there's nobody to put a chat bot to if there's no leads.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can only do database reactivation so many times before it's like, I think we
I,
dried up that little
yeah.
pipeline.
Sent them multiple texts 10,000 times and they haven't converted.
Yeah. And in your guys' niche, you have to, I mean, again, I don't understand the nuances of the strategy or the market.
Yeah.
Um, but is it kind of like, it's kind of like a car accident. Like when it happens, there's a moment when something is happening to where you have to capitalize on it, or is it something where you can nurture people?
So it's with
Is it time sensitive?
the people that we attract, there's all different types. We'll get people who need like they're just in a bad spot. They need money for rent, car payment, electric bill, and they
Okay.
just the phone's going to be one of the first things that they look to sell because it's one of the assets they have that they could sell quickly.
Yeah.
Or we get people who just a lot of times will list their phones on Facebook Marketplace and they'll realize that when you list something on Marketplace, whether it's a phone, a couch, or anything, you get a lot of scammers, a lot of spam, a lot of time wasters. So we get a lot of people like that who just want a quick, convenient sale for us. But it's a wide range of people. We'll get people like that. We'll get people who are struggling, and then we'll just get people who happen to see our ad on Facebook because we're running some type of videos or funny videos, and it piques their interest. And they're like, "Oh, I got this phone sitting in my drawer. I upgraded to a 16. I don't need this phone anymore." So they'll reach out to us and they'll sell it to us. So it's a
Dude,
wide variety.
I have so many phones. I got 4 kids, all of
Yeah,
whom have phones.
that's
And
our ideal customer.
yeah, I was gonna say, geez, if I went upstairs right now, I would probably find I'm almost afraid.
Yeah,
I'm afraid to find out how many phones. So if I had a phone like an iPhone 12 or
Yeah.
10, you
yeah.
guys buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those lower end, like the older phones are a little bit like you're not going to get crazy amounts in return for them. But yeah, we buy everything. The oldest phone we normally buy is like an iPhone X, iPhone 10 essentially.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, people that's what we get a lot of families and then they turn into repeat customers. So yeah, you might
Mhm.
spend $3 or $4 on a customer to acquire them, but if you treat them right, I mean, I've had people who've been selling to me for 7 years now and
Mhm.
they just keep coming back every time they upgrade. So the
That's
lifetime value of these customers really turn out to be like you can make $2,000-3,000 off one family in a year just from them selling to you alone. And then you
So
repeat
that
that.
makes that gives me a thread I kind of want to pull on to a little bit. Talking about your guys' as customers, right?
Yeah.
In the E-Myth, it talks about the entrepreneurial seizure. Have you guys ever heard that
No, I
concept?
haven't.
So there's a book called the E-Myth, and it's like, you see some opportunity, and you're like, man, I hate my job. I'm gonna go start my own business, right? Thinking that a job is like any, or I'm sorry, a business is like any job you've had, you just go do it.
Oh
And
yeah.
what people don't realize is no, owning a business is pretty dynamic. There's a lot to it, right?
Yeah.
20%.
So when like you're talking about lifetime value, are these the concepts and the ideas that you guys are teaching to your customers?
Yeah, to on our marketing agency
Yeah.
side, yeah, something I always touch on super heavily because people will get discouraged at times, like if it's slow or things of that nature. And I let them know, like, hey, if you're picking these customers up, and that's another reason why high level is important because we have different automations set in. So as soon as we like Ray and I, let's say we pick up a phone from a customer, if we have their number, we close it out and we put them
Mhm.
into a 1 year follow-up. So every single month for a year, they get one text message, nothing spammy, nothing crazy, but just
Yeah.
to kind of remind them. And like that's been huge for our business. So it's the same thing I try to tell our clients when they get discouraged on slow months, or if they're spending some money on marketing and they're not getting huge returns. Like I let them know, like, or if they get a customer who they only made $50 profit on, that $50 could turn into $500 over the next 3 months just off that one customer. So I
Yeah.
always push that lifetime value um, because that's when things really start to become steady and consistent when you have those repeat customers and you build the systems in place to have a
Yeah.
repeat in any business, whether it's
Yeah.
marketing, real estate, anything. You have to try to build that lifetime value up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Ray.
No, I said also with the leads that come into what we teach our students and clients that we deal with is if a customer has an older phone like an iPhone 7 or iPhone 8, don't consider that a loss. Don't consider that a bad situation because what you can tell the customer that could be a future customer is this is what we purchase. Let them know exactly. Also, reach out, give them your phone number, or ask for their phone number. Have them lock us into your phone. So in the future, if they have something that we do purchase, they can reach back out to us much easier. So you're not losing that lead, spending that $3 or $4 each time. So it's just little tips we teach our clients and
Yeah.
customers about leads that don't work out over the time. So I just want to throw that out there.
In terms of like results for customers that you're serving, right? Do you
Mhm.
guys have case studies of people coming into your agency and just like being like, man, I actually have a business now?
Yeah, I just recently, like, for the longest time, I never really did that. I just kind of just got business organically and help, and people just kept hitting me up. So I never found the real need for it. But now lately, and I think you started seeing them, is I've been getting video testimonials of people like that,
Yeah.
and I'm starting to develop some more actual case studies now, of like actual people's success. Like we have one client who made us a video how he consistently does $5,000 to $8,000 a month profit. Another person who bought, I think it was 150 phones in
Mm.
1 month with us, and average profit per phone should be anywhere between $50 to $100. So it adds up when they start doing the volume. But yeah, I definitely I need to start getting some actual solid case studies. That was one of the biggest things I should have done earlier on in my agency was get the case studies, get all those testimonials. But I
Mhm.
kind of got spoiled because I built up my name so well organically in these like Facebook groups for phone flipping and things of that nature, where people just I was the go-to guy, so everyone would refer me, tag me in posts, or they would
Yeah.
just message me directly.
Well, they're referring and tagging you because you're helping them get an outcome.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and by the way, it's like what the plumber always has, the leaky faucet. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
yeah,
I'm horrible at asking for reviews and tests, and especially my agency. I try to be better about it now.
yeah,
Case studies like this, putting this up, letting people see.
yeah,
But in my own agency, man, I was just so bad at it, and it was always funny when I would see people post, "Oh yeah, I'm crushing it with Patient Stream." That was the name of I'm crushing with
yeah.
Patient Stream. We're doing. I'm like, oh, uh,
Can I get
and
a?
maybe I should ask for a testimonial.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
um,
And then Ray and I too, we want to start basically what we're doing with you right now is we want to get our YouTube channel going and bring other successful flippers on that we've worked with or other people that I just know who are successful and have conversations like this.
Yeah. So, going back, so you guys now have a 70 plus clients. You're basically selling to them an UpHex plus high level plus coaching, I would
So
say.
yeah, we do. We have I really don't really like I sell high level and UpHex, but it's kind of just they don't really use the UpHex. It's mostly me using it for them.
Okay.
They have the option to use it for like if they want to, but I've noticed when people do it, they just kind of will click around and they won't after they do it, they won't really manage or watch the ads themselves and they kind of just will leave it running. So I personally like will manage most of that stuff for them. They have access to it. They use a high level as well. But yeah, so we have our just the normal ads management where I'm managing the ads for them, Facebook, Instagram, and Google. We have our program, which is called Phone Pro University. That's more of the coaching side. That's where they could learn everything essentially from the ground up. And then we have our full done for you service, which we call hands-free phone flipping. And that's where our team handles everything, the marketing, the lead response, making the quotes, doing the follow-ups. And we just send them the deals that are ready to basically be meet up. So we send them all the closed customers. They don't have to do anything besides go meet them, inspect the phone, and then sell the phone for profit. And we already have buyers as well. So like every single phone we buy is basically already sold. So there's these buyers out there called direct buyers. They have price lists of everything they buy from all the Apple products, Samsung products, and you work off a margin, like a spread. So let's say they pay you 500 bucks. I'm just saying a random phone, but for an iPhone 14, we would try to get that phone for 400 at like the very least. And we have that $100 spread. Sometimes you can get them for 300 and you make 200 on the flip.
Yeah.
But that way you can buy 10 phones in a day, spend 5 grand, pack up the phones, flip them like to your buyer, get your money back and keep cash flowing. And you can grow your capital pretty quickly that way.
Awesome. So that gives you guys effectively, I always tell people it's like in your agency, like if you're driving leads, that's one, depending on the niche, that's
Yeah.
cool. People will pay for leads, but the closer you can get to the sale, the more money you can make,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And this game is fun when you can get people to pay you not once, but when you can get them to pay you over and over and over. And they will
Consistently.
only do that if you can make them money. So you guys
Exactly.
feel like you guys have cracked that code.
Yeah, yeah, for the most part, I think we've cracked that code. There's always room for improvement everywhere, but yeah, I think we cracked that code. I have customers who've paid me since the agency started in 2020. I mean, if I look at their Stripe account, they spent like $30,000 with me.
Yeah.
I have multiple customers like that. So, yeah, I think we've cracked that code for sure.
Awesome. And then, so we talked about fulfillment a little bit. Talk to me about in terms of when you're fulfilling with UpHex.
Yeah.
Like, what does that look like with 70 customers? What does a week of launching ads and managing performance look like for you?
It's super simple. I mean, with the launching of the ads on UpHex, because I have a different strategy with my campaigns. So when I create campaigns for people, I have to create multiple campaigns. Like I do multiple, if let's just say they have $50 a day, I create 10 $5 campaigns. And with UpHex, it's so simple. I have multiple templates set up. So each template either has like 3 videos or 2 photos. Like, so there's a total of 5 photos in the campaign or videos. And then I have like all these different placements set up in UpHex already. So I have some where I'm just doing auto campaign where Facebook decides everything. I
Yeah.
have a couple where I'm getting them placed just on Instagram, but then I have it just Instagram, like the reels only. So I have all these different templates already set up where I don't have to now go into Ads Manager. I don't have to set up each campaign, set up the placements, redo all that, and I just click away on UpHex. And then now my most favorite feature with UpHex is that you can launch multiple campaigns at once. Like you don't have to wait for that whole bar to load. You can just click back and start just clicking away. And then within 10 minutes, I've launched like basically 10 campaigns or more.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it makes everything so much easier. And then of course I still go into Ads Manager, unless I'm missing this in UpHex, but I don't know if there's ways to really make changes to the ads inside of UpHex. But then I'll go in Ads Manager, spend a couple hours. Like I like to work all my clients in the morning. So all my work I need to do, I just knock them all out in the morning. And like I'll go on Ads Manager, and if I have to stop any photos or if I have to make any changes, I'll just go in Ads Manager directly and make those changes there. But UpHex itself,
You can do that in UpHex, by the
oh, you're gonna have to show me that.
way. Yeah, you just go into the customer, you click on the account, and you like flop them down. You can turn ads off. You can refresh ads. You can go
I
in.
never really go much in the UpHex backend, like on the actual backend of UpHex. I mostly just go right in HighLevel. And
The back end of UpHex, give it a month from it's January 28th. This video will probably be out the beginning of February-ish.
cool.
By end of February, mid-March, not only will you have, I mean, we already have stuff where you can turn off ads that are not performing.
Yeah,
You can change, you can do those different modifications. You can already do that.
sweet.
But we'll have AI that will just say, do you want, these are all the changes we think you should make. Do you want us to do that? Click,
That
click,
will be
click.
nice.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So
Be nice.
we don't ever want you to have to go into Ads Manager ever again. That's our goal.
Great. No, that'll be
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
Because I know the only time I ever really go in the back end of UpHex is when I'm uploading new templates for
Oh,
myself.
dude, there's so much there. Well,
Yeah.
it's like it's like any software. As you build it, you
Yeah.
layer out this one. So for example, like an old media buyer trick is, and especially for local lead generation, not a lot of people know this, but if you get an ad that is driving leads,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden a couple days go by and it's like tapering and it's like slowing down. Most people think that that's what people call ad fatigue.
Oh no. Yeah.
It's not ad fatigue. It's algorithm fatigue, right? For whatever reason, the ad hit a dead spot in the audience that it was, serving.
Yeah.
And these ads have a very short life, like memory in terms of performance. They're like, oh, all you got to do in UpHex, there's a little recycle button. You click it, and depending on how you set up the campaign from the beginning, it'll bump out the targeting radius by 1 mile.
Oh, nice.
And then what does that do?
That's what I do. That's what I do when I go into people's accounts. Like if I raise it like a mile, I'll raise it either a mile or I'll lower it a mile or like that's.
Dude, you literally go in there and you click the recycle button. It does it automatically.
I guess I'm an
Wow.
UpHex noob, and I've had it for over 12 months.
Well, no, like I said, these are features that did not exist when we first launched it. And we're like, all right, let's handle optimization, the reset feature. If you do that on zip codes, by the way, you're thinking, oh, well, you can't do that on zip code. Well, what do we do there? We change the minimum age by 1 year.
Okay.
So if your minimum age was 18 years old, we just go to 19, boom, back in learning.
That's good. Okay.
Right.
Nice.
So whatever we can do to keep you out of Ads Manager. And I will say what you're doing that's really smart. And this is any UpHex agencies, do with your model, your niche, what you want to. But offering it as a service where you run the ads, even though it's launching through UpHex, they'll pay you more money.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's like more money. We used to do that for, in my agency, we used to do that with our event marketing, right?
Yeah.
We made it so they could launch their own. But like you said, people have, and there's a term for it. I think it's called tool fatigue, maybe. They're just hesitant.
Yeah.
What's that?
Over analyzing it.
No, they're just tired of using new tools.
Yeah.
Right. And so we're like, hey, don't use new tools. Just use the one. So we gave them a form and it asked, when is your event? When is this? And they'd fill it out, click it, and it tied into UpHex, and they didn't even know they were launching a campaign, and they paid us as if we were doing it for them.
There you go.
It was genius, right?
Yeah, it honestly just makes things so much easier because then I'll let people I could do refreshes, or I know some of my clients are particular, and even though you don't have to do that with Facebook, they like new ads launched like every couple of weeks. So even if the other new ones are performing, they want them stopped and they want new ones launched. And it just makes it so easy to literally just go right into UpHex. I do stop the ads in UpHex. I do click them to stop them in there. And then I just go in and launch a new one, and it literally takes me 5 seconds. And and they're impressed with it too, because they're like, I do wait a little bit of time so they don't think I'm just doing it super fast, but I'll message them like 10 minutes after, and they're like, wow, man, that was great. Like, you did that really fast.
You can't make it look too easy.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't want to make it look too easy.
Yeah, you got to earn your money here.
You got to give
So
yourself a little buffer.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So you guys, in terms of getting clients, you do a lot of organic content and things along those lines. Tell me kind of about your current customer acquisition strategy from there. And then is it a sales call? Is it a pitch deck? What are you doing on the
It
conversion?
just mostly depends. Most of my business right now comes through my personal Facebook page. So if you look at my personal Facebook page, it's basically a funnel. And everything is all advertising. Let me run your ads. Let me run your ads. Here's some phones. Here's client reviews. And then, like, when I went on vacation last week, it was a break from business, and I was posting vacation stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of like guerrilla strategy, where I'll just sit on Facebook in the morning. I'll add 50 friends a day, and I constantly am just posting new stories on my feed. So I'll add them as a friend. I see that we have mutual friends first, so I add them as a friend. That they accept it, and most of the times they get curious. They start looking at my profile. They'll see the stories, and then a lot of times they'll just reach out to me, um, and start asking me questions. We hop on a phone call, and I just pitch it over the phone most of the times.
Okay.
It's a store owner who owns multiple stores. I'll get on Zoom with them, and I'll like show them some of the stuff I'm doing for other store owners. I'll show them like the cost per lead that we're getting compared to what they're getting right now, 'cause if they're working with another agency. And then what we've been doing lately, Ray and I, is we're each sending 100 cold DMs out a day to people in our related group. So if they're in a phone flipping group, or my phone flipping group, or if they have mutual friends, or even on my friends list, we're just cold DMing 100 people a day each. And we've actually been getting quite a good amount of business just from shooting the cold DMs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
awesome, man.
I do run some paid ads for like just getting more clients, but I would say like 3% of my business right now comes from, like, getting clients comes from actual paid ads. Everything's
Yeah.
just been all organic.
And to talk about that just a little bit in terms of the viewer, it's like, well, if you run ads for people, why don't you run ads for yourself? And there's something there. However, it's a completely different mindset running ads B2C than it is B2B.
Yeah.
Right. And running ads B2C is a lot easier to templatize. It's a lot easier to prove. And, again, everybody has a cell phone, right?
Yeah.
So running ads to people like that is pretty easy. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
pretty
super.
simple.
I mean, I advertise heavily for our phone flipping business. I'm spending like over $100 a day on ads
Yeah.
to bring new customers in for that. But yeah, as for the B2B side, it's definitely you have to have everything honed in if you're gonna run ads, I think, for B2B.
Yeah, you need a unique hook. You need a really good process. And if you have not very much competition and direct access organically, it's a lot more fun to have warm conversations, like people already interested. Those are like, all
Makes
right.
it much easier to much easier to
Yeah.
close.
Yeah. So I remember when I used to do my sales calls, like you kind of go through these phases, right? And the beginning is like felt like a lot of effort, but the more you post, the more people see you, the more all those kind of things. It's like, so tell me about how you guys are doing this.
Yeah.
And then it's just conversations.
Well,
Yeah.
my whole agency actually started basically by accident, and Ray's actually a part of how my agency started, because I would post like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, however long, I would start posting in these groups about my success, and Ray reached out to me too. He's like, dude, you should start offering some type of service to these people. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. I want to be like one of those guru people. And as this is back when gurus kind of had a bad name.
Crap.
But I started making some posts, and one day this person reached out to me, and he's like, hey, can I get on a Zoom call with you? I'll pay you. And I was like, I don't really want to get on Zoom, but he offered me $250 for an hour. And I was like, excuse my French, but I was like, holy shit, like that's like a lawyer's salary for an hour. I was like, okay, let's do it. So then I hopped on a Zoom with him, and then he made a post about me saying how he had success, and I had like 10 more people wanting to do hour Zoom calls with me. And then those people who I did all the Zoom calls with were like, hey, can you just help me manage the ads? And I was like, I don't really know how to do that, but I'm gonna say yes. And they started paying me like $200 a month each. And then I was like, dang, I'm paying for my whole apartment rent right now. I was like, this is amazing.
It's a cool story,
Kept
man.
snowballing and snowballing and snowballing, and then just kept getting bigger and bigger, and people offering me more money.
That's
And
awesome.
all of a sudden, I had a huge agency. I
That's
was
what it's
like,
all about, just helping someone with
yeah,
their problem. If you could fix their problem, they'll pay for it. It's just really
That's
what it comes down
exactly
to.
right. The
yeah,
biggest problem, the biggest blind spot in the agency game is that people try and make money.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
biggest blind spot because you're like, how am I going to make money? How am I going to make money?
yeah,
Even you watching this right now, don't think that you're just going to copy what these guys are doing because they make money. It's like,
Yeah.
well, how can you make somebody else money?
that's it. You have to figure out how to make other people money, and then the money will follow
That's
you.
right. Yeah, that's right. And I will say some of, so you guys are a case study. I just posted one for Rebecca Duran, I think last week, and she's crushing it in martial arts, but she started in martial arts. Like she had, like her husband had a studio. Oh, are you jujitsu? Yeah, you got the ear. You got your jujitsu guy, huh?
Well, I fought MMA for some time, but I did
Okay.
jujitsu. But yeah, I did the good old cage fighting.
Okay, very cool. So you got them. We have another case study. Um, Edward and Colin, and I mean, they started in the insurance business, and they're like, well, we could just, and they learned how to run ads. So a lot of times, learning to like scratching your own itch is where these things come from,
Mhm.
right? Um,
Exactly.
Imagine trying to build an agency not knowing a business, not knowing the niche, right?
Yeah, very hard. Yeah, it could be very hard. I've actually tried it. I tried switching niches multiple times just to dabble and
Yeah,
see, and
yeah,
it's very hard. Like it's hard to talk about it's like you have to have conversation with the customer, the potential customer, and if you don't really know that business, people are
It's
gonna
hard.
people are gonna read and catch on to that pretty quickly.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's it. I
Yeah,
mean, if you can describe their problems better than they can,
Yeah.
they become a customer.
yeah,
You know,
100%.
that's the
for
thing.
sure.
Well,
100.
you guys are awesome. This has been very informative. I like to give you guys an opportunity, Ray and Chris. I'll give you each an opportunity to kind of finalize or take us out here. One piece of parting advice: if you were to give yourself advice, okay, and you are sitting here and you're like, "Well, my first 10 customers, I could have got them a lot faster had I done fill in the blank." What would that be? And I'll start with you, Ray, because I feel like Chris and I have been kind of,
No, it's fine. I just yeah, I love to soak it in, and and Chris has been amazing. I've loved being partners with him, and I just look at it this way. I think a lot of people are just like they're always searching for the next thing out there, and people who want to run a business, they want to run a business. You have to market, flat out market. If you don't market, you don't have a business. People always say, "Oh, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money." I think personally that's an excuse. If you just keep grinding every day, you get up early before everybody else. You get on Facebook Marketplace, search for phones, work hard, grind. You will get to that point, but you have to build that stack and market. I talk to so many people every day, like, oh man, I just don't have enough money for marketing. I'm like, if you don't have enough money for marketing, you don't have a business. That's just flat out my
yeah.
personal opinion. So, um, I just want to let everyone know there's just opportunity out there all over. You just got to work harder than anyone else. I mean, you hear it from everybody else. So you just got to keep grinding and grinding.
Cool.
That's pretty much it.
All right, Chris, you're the last word, buddy.
So if I had to get 10 new clients faster for my agency when I started, I probably would have just went up straight up offering free trials and not trying to get any money from them, saying give them 30 days, 45 days, bring them results first, and then say, let's talk about payment afterwards. That's probably what I would have done. I was a little bit different story for me just because I had people trying to throw money at me when I started. But yeah, that's what I would do is I would just find something that you're passionate about, that you have experience in, whether it's even like construction, carpentry, electronics, like electricians, whatever that you have some type of skill or knowledge in. I would start reaching out to people and just be honest with them, say, hey, I'm brand new to this. I'm looking to get some feedback. I would love to work with you for 30 to 45 days for free, and just build like 5 or 10 of those up. And then once you have those, then I would start running paid ads to it.
Yeah.
And use those to get your actual paid clients.
That's exactly how I started.
Yeah.
I started with free trials, and I just got out there and I had 7 people, 7 different clinics that I was working with do free trials. And I just had really clear and transparent. I said, hey, I'm learning this right now, so I'm not going to charge you anything, but let me explain the plan. That way, if you buy into it, then I'll just execute for you. If we're both on the same page, then it's on me to perform.
Yeah.
And that's all I had to say. And like, again, 7 people like, yeah, we're in, let's do it. Right.
I think that's all you got to do.
And all 7 people turned into paid customers, all of them.
Yeah.
So
I think people will respect that as well. Like, I mean, I would if I was a business owner, someone reaching out to me saying, "Hey, I'm brand new to this. I do have experience, but I've never worked with your niche, or I've never worked with like this type of people." I would love
Building
to.
trust. Yeah.
I think people would respect that, and at the end of the day, even kind of give you a little bit more of a break if things are a little bit slower.
yeah, yeah. Cool. Well, appreciate you guys. Thank you for being very transparent, very hat in hand. Congratulations on your success. And you guys just keep on crushing it. And the viewer, get inspired, take action, do what you can with this. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody starts from ground zero, and going from zero to hero, like actually getting into the money, is less about fancy, shiny stuff. And it's more
Oh,
about
and for some
helping
more
people.
motivation, I've dropped out of high school and I don't even have a GED, so I am completely uneducated as well. So if that's some motivation for people, you
And
don't
you're
need
going on a Disney cruise.
going on another one. I just got off one. I'm going on another one in May.
That's awesome, man. I am headed to Disneyland tomorrow to run a half marathon. You guys wish
Oh,
me
wow.
luck. I've never run a half marathon at all. I've never run more than a mile. So
Wow. Yeah, good luck.
we're gonna make it happen. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
All
We'll
right.
see you on the next one.